Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available summer 2024, the album Dad. Shimmy, shimmy. Rock on gold dust. I think that needs something else. I think that needs a tambourine. Rock on gold dust, woman. Players only love you when they're playing. Oh, there's my neighbors, my favorite neighbors. Hey! I'm doing good. How are you? I know it's tambourine. And yesterday we were talking about going to Grateful Dead. I mean, they're not around anymore, but I got my tambourine out. I'm ready to go. Do a little Fleetwood Mac today for the people. Everybody knows who Fleetwood Mac is. Well, maybe not in this neighborhood. Have a good one, guys. I totally did not expect that. Players only love you. People that have never watched one of my videos before, like the James Charles fans, they're like, what is going on right now? I'm so confused. There's a tambourine, there's some song, there's a fan, and there's people that he's talking to that we can't see on the, those are called my neighbors. Okay, I'm on my front porch. I actually, and when you're done with the tambourine, well, I don't know, I might want to use it later in my video, but fuck it. Anyway, just threw it over there to the hostas. The hostas are playing a mean tambourine today. I actually haven't sat out here and filmed a drama video in quite some time. And it was pouring down rain earlier. There's my other neighbor. He's checking his mail right now. Did you get anything good? He's laughing at me. Oh, what'd you get?
Well,
oh, Lord. I'm filming right now, so if you got stories about golf.
$50 off at Tommy Bahama.
$50 off at Tommy Bahama. Oh, go. He's the one that got me started on my Louis Vuitton Meteor cologne. I was just telling him that you're the one that got me started on my Louis Vuitton Meteor cologne. Yeah, you also got me to buy them stupid Hokas, too. The most uncomfortable shoe in the entire world.
I can't believe you don't like those.
I don't like those Hokas. People, listen, Linda, okay? People are ruining the world with them ugly-ass Hokas, okay?
You're the only one I've known that doesn't like those.
They feel like walking on glass. They are so, and not like the Annie Lennox song, Rockin' on Blue. This is why I don't film out here anymore, because my neighbors are out here so much and they just love me so much. This is where people are like, Peter's neighbors, I feel so bad for his neighbors. They love me. Oh, my other neighbor, he's out on the street too. Is he grilling? Everybody's out on the street today. But anyway, I haven't filmed out here in a while, and it was pouring down rain earlier, and then I went on Cousin Fun Day with my cousin Caroline. We're going to get to the James Charles shit in a second. Okay, I know. People are like, people that have never watched me before, well, I don't know why this will be your very first video that you've ever watched, and you've probably clicked off by now. Oh, it just started raining again. I love a good spring rain, don't you? You know what they say? They say that April showers bring May flowers. But now we're in May. I don't know what they say about May flowers, okay? I'm just ready for the pool to open. And my cousin Caroline was bringing me home today. I said, can you pull down by the pool? And she's like, oh my God, is the pool open already? Because she was thinking we could go on a pool day next week, right? And I was like, no, they got to do like fix the grout and clean the pool and do all this kind of power wash the patio and all that kind of stuff. I said, they're saying they're going to open it late. Well, we drove by the pool today. They are already having people working on it. They are going to have it open Memorial Day weekend. I cannot wait. Because in Indiana, pools open Memorial Day weekend. So I cannot wait for that. But anyway, so yeah, today was Cousin Fun Day. Oh, I wasn't going to film out here today because it was raining, see? And I haven't filmed out here in a while. And so I thought today I sat right here and I did my haul, my Trader Joe's and my Costco haul over on my Peter Does Stuff channel. And then I did a Peterisms video over on my Peterisms channel. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not sitting up in the hot bedroom today filming a drama video talking about James Charles, okay? I'm just going to sit out here on my front patio anyway. Now, my neighbor, his wife, she loves when I talk about James Charles and Colleen Behringer. She calls her Colleen Behringer. My friend Melissa, she got back from taking her nieces to go to Taylor Swift in Paris. And I was texting her and I was like, did you see Colleen Behringer? I call Colleen Behringer to everybody. I was like, did you see Colleen Ballinger at the Taylor Swift concert? And she just said no, ... She knows the story about Colleen Behringer. But anyway, so we are on Cousin Fun Day today. My cousin Caroline and I, now I need a little lip gloss, two things. I need lip gloss You know you do. Because before you get into talking about the real serious stuff, this is actually what I love to make people that don't like me sit through this part. They're like, I have to fast forward. But then you like fast forward to the end of it, and then you don't really get to the drama, because sometimes I drop drama bombs right in the intro. You don't even know. If you skip all this, you might miss everything that I tell about. I might be telling some real deep drama in here, and you might not even, hear about it. So anyway, I have ice out here in a little Turvis cup, and I'm also having Diet Dr. Pepper. So anyway, because it's hot, it's kind of humid out here today, you know what I'm saying? So I thought, well, I'm sitting on my front porch, I might as well have a Diet Dr. Pepper and talk about the drama of James Charles. But first, let's talk about the fight that my cousin Caroline and I got into. She was trying my nerves today. No, she was. Well, first we went out to brunch with a family friend, and that was really, really fun. A family friend that was like friends of our, like her mom and my mom and stuff like that. She and her husband. So we went and picked her up. Well, she picked her up, then she picked me up. We went to brunch, had a real nice brunch with her and all that kind of stuff. She's got laughing so hard. She's like, I love your videos together when you and Caroline do videos together. She goes, would you go, because we told her we were going to Costco. And she's like, would you and cousin Caroline do she doesn't call us that. She was like, will you and Caroline do the video at the Costco today? And I was like, well, they don't like it when I film in the Costco. They told me that one day. They said, we don't like it when you film in here. You're not supposed to be filming in here. And I was like, okay. But I sometimes film anyway. But mostly, Caroline and I would just like hang out. Today we were so tired, both of us wanted naps. I was like, about ready to tell her to pull into the White Castle parking lot, and that I could just like take a nap, because we were both so tired, because after brunch, we don't do brunch anymore, because on Wednesdays when we eat brunch and we're so tired afterwards, we don't want to run to the post office and the Costco and things like that. So anyway, but we were driving over to Trader Joe's, because I said, let's go see if Trader Joe's has any new things. They do, and I bought some things today, and I did it over my haul on my Peter Dustep channel. So anyway, we were on the way over there, and she said to me, how's Thumbelina? Now, Caroline done wrote this song about Thumbelina the squirrel, because she knows I love Thumbelina the squirrel, okay? Like, if there's one celebrity that I want to meet, it is Thumbelina the squirrel. I don't care about none of the Kardashians. I don't care about no Lady Gaga. I love her, but I don't need to meet her. Don't need to pay no money to meet her, definitely. I don't need to meet, listen, I love Stevie Nicks, but I don't even need to meet Stevie Nicks. I want to meet Thumbelina the squirrel. That is who I want to meet, right? And so Caroline, she asked me every week, like, how Thumbelina, last week she was talking about how happy I was, talking about Thumbelina. She's like, your mood completely changed talking about Thumbelina the squirrel. I love Thumbelina the squirrel. I think everybody in the world should follow Thumbelina the squirrel on the TikTok, on the Instagram, and things like that. I love her mom and dad too. And so Caroline wrote this song, and it goes like this: Thumbelina, Thumbelina. And so she always sings it when she asks me about Thumbelina, right? And she's like, how's Thumbelina been doing? And I said, oh, Thumbelina, she's been doing real good. I said, I love that girl so much. I said, she loves her avocados, and she loves her raspberries, and things like that, right? I said, I told you last week, Caroline, she was helping her mom make a salad in one of her little Instagram stories. It just says sweet. I said, but mostly, I like my favorite Instagram story of hers is when she's like laying in bed and things like that. Oh, here's my favorite neighbors coming back the other way. Why are they walking? Oh, because they're wanting to get it. My neighbor across the street, they don't have dogs, but he keeps a box of dog treats in his garage, and then he gives all the dogs dog treats in the neighborhood. Isn't that so sweet? I think that's so nice. Except for Boo Radley, because they're hard, like milk bones, and Boo Radley can't eat them because he's got no teeth. But we got him a whole bag of treats today. I showed that in my haul too. 2 bags of treats Boo Radley got. He's got so many treats, he don't need to worry about it. But anyway, so she was like, something about Thumbelina. I said, well, Caroline, I said, my favorite video of Thumbelina is when she's like laying in bed like this, and they bring her breakfast in bed. And she goes, what is Thumbelina's breakfast in bed? And I said, it's like this little wooden spoon, and it's got avocado over it. And she just goes like this. And Caroline goes, what did she do again? Because she got such a kick out of it. And I said, she just goes like, she lays in bed and they hold this wooden spoon out to her with avocado because she loves avocados so much. Thumbelina, she's kind of addicted to the avocados. No, truly she is. Like, she needs a 12-step program for avocados. Like, Avocados Anonymous is what Thumbelina needs. And so I said, she just lays there in this little bed and she's all like laid back like that. And she likes her tummy rubbed too, like Boo Radley. And I was telling Caroline that, and she goes, and I said something about that to Caroline. I go, I just think she's like the best in the entire world. And she goes, well, she's nothing like Peaches. I said, no, let me tell you something, Caroline. I am so tired of you talking about Peaches, this dog, okay? First of all, I said, you done made me look like a damn fool on my video. Because last week I was talking about, or the week before, I was talking about how you wouldn't shut up about this Peaches, the squirrel, that had her own, because I was talking about Thumbelina the squirrel going to the Met Gala. And I said, and you were talking about how Peaches, the squirrel, had her own, what do you call it, like a gown, and this pink gown, and she had to go to events and stuff like that. And Caroline's like laughing because she knows where I'm going with this. And I said, you done led me on to think that Peaches was a squirrel. I said, Peaches is not a squirrel, she is a dog. And I said, I don't care about that. And she goes, well, she's a rescue dog, and her old owner tried to get her back, and her new owner told her that she could just get effed and all this kind of stuff because she loves Peaches. I said, she goes, Peaches is going to her Cape Cod home right now. She goes, she lives in Miami most of the year, or Fort Lauderdale. She goes, where does Thumbelina the squirrel live? And I said, she goes, where does she come from? And I said, Caroline, you already know Thumbelina the squirrel is a rescue squirrel. I said, she's had a sad, horrific, tragic story of her life. And she goes, what's the tragic story of her life? I go, Well, her mom, her nest was in a construction site in New York City, and she came inside this window, and she gave birth to Thumbelina and her little sister, and her little sister didn't make it. Only Thumbelina made it, and now she's living with her parents. It's a sad tragedy of the world. And Caroline started laughing. She goes, Peaches has got a much worse story. I said, girl, listen, we are not even comparing a dog to a squirrel any day of the week, okay? This is the kind of fights that me and my cousin Caroline got into. So that argument was like an hour before we got out of the car. So when I'm getting out of the car and I'm bringing all my stuff in there, I said, bye, sweetie. I said, I love you. Thank you so much for coming and getting me and stuff like that. And you know what she says to me? She goes, Peaches still rules any day over Thumbelina. Then she told me she has merch. And I thought, well, I have Thumbelina merch. And she goes, I've got a hoodie and I've got a t-shirt and everything. I thought, well, shit, all I've got is a long sleeve t-shirt. Now I got to get a hoodie of Thumbelina's. I got to get pop sockets of Thumbelina's. I got to go buy some merch to show up my cousin Caroline. Because now, see, Caroline and I are now fighting over Peaches the dog and Thumbelina the squirrel. Do y'all fight about stuff like that? Okay, this is going to be the ruining of our relationship. But anyway, let's talk about James Charles, shall we? I don't really feel like it, but I guess we should talk about it. Because I'm like, you know, hey, listen, this happened a couple days ago, so let's talk about it now. People were messaging me about this, DMing me about it. Drama channels yesterday were DMing me about it. I was like, yes, ma'am, I done seen this about 3 days ago. People were sending this to me about 3 days ago. I don't know. My drama phone. Listen, I cannot find two things in this house, okay? Number one, I cannot find the drama phone, and I got two drama phones. See, this is the problem, okay? I cleaned out my kitchen cabinets, and I cleaned out the basement, and now I got that trash fan is missing. I got a bag of fans down in the basement. I got to look through to find this trash fan. Somebody told me they think I left it in Miami. I think you're right. I think I did leave it in Miami, or it might be in one of my suitcases. But I can't find that, and I can't find my drama phone, because today I was going to do ding-a-ling-a-ling, shim-a-lang-dang-ding-dong-ding. How's the drama phone? This is Peter speaking. How can I come? Oh, hi, Jane. How are you? Today I was going to do the drama phone and everything, and I couldn't find the drama phone. I couldn't find the regular white drama phone, the iPhone 10, and I couldn't find the one that somebody bedazzled for me. I couldn't find either of them, and I know I still have them. I put them somewhere. Oh, thank God. I hope I didn't throw them out. I know I didn't. I have all my props down in the basement in this, like, big box, so I just got to go through that box and find it. But anyway, I saw this a couple days ago come up on James Charles. So, I'm not going to show the picture of this person here. I'll just, like, glance it out to you. But I don't really know who this person is, so I don't want to, like, get him called out. But anyway, on this Twitter account, somebody put this picture, and it's this woman standing next to this sign. Here, you can see her right here, okay? But she's standing next to this sign, and she's smiling like this. And the road is called Dick Cock Road, okay? So, James Charles retweets it, and he says time and place, okay? What he's referencing is, somebody is cooking out. It smells so good. I can smell it over here. They're making cheeseburgers and things like that. They don't ever think about me. I'm a vegetarian, okay? They don't think that this kind of stuff drives me nuts. But anyway, so he's referencing the Toddy video from what, 2018, 2019 or whatever, when Toddy came out. I feel like I've talked about this shit so much, I'm so over it. When Toddy came out and she's talking about her dinner party that she had and all the people were there, Jeffree Star was there and stuff like that, and James Charles was trying to hit on the waiter, and Toddy said something about he's straight or something like that, and James Charles was like, I can have anybody I want. See, this is why when I talk about the straight fantasy of James Charles, Manny MUA, Daniel Prada, Joey Graceffa, who does all the videos about pick a gay out of the line, which is so offensive. I mean, it's so, like, it is so backwards that in 2024, Joey Graceffa, an out gay man, that wouldn't come out for years, okay? Because he was too afraid of losing his audience that wouldn't understand that he was gay. So this out gay man in 2024, okay, his way of contributing to the LGBTQI plus community, when his ex in a video said to Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, why don't they contribute to the LGBTQI plus community? What have you done, Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada? That would be my question, okay? I'm not supporting the two of them, but I'm just saying, Jeffree Star has done a lot more for the LGBTQ community than you have ever done, okay? In fact, you're taking us 20 years back by doing videos where you're picking out gay guys and lesbians in a line, okay, based on stereotypes. That, to me, is so disgusting, and that people think that that's cute, okay? Like, that is, to me, like, to me, it's, like, baffling to me, right? In the world that we live in today, that people get so bent out of shape about every little thing, the fact that nobody takes issue with the fact that we have these gay men fantasizing over straight men, okay? This whole idea that we had to fight for the last 30 years, okay? And now you're taking us back 30 years because we had to fight that when people said that gay men recruited straight men, and we had to fight that for 30 years, okay? Now y'all are in videos and pictures and you're kissing gay men. James Charles is at Toddy Westbrook's dinner saying that he can get any man he wants because he's James Charles, right? When he later came out in a video and said he didn't realize the difference between James Charles and James Dickinson, but now he does, okay? But he did know the difference because at our dinner he said, I can get any man I want, gay or straight, right? Well, no, you can't, James, okay? You can't. Can somebody turn you straight? You know? I mean, this is where everybody's always like, well, everybody's got a little bit of gay in them. I ain't got no straight in me, period, end of story, okay? That's just how I was made. Love it or hate it, that's who I am today. And I don't try to convince straight people that they got a little bit of gay in them, because not every gay person, every straight person out there, and yes, I do know about the scale and all that kind of stuff, okay? The Kinsey scale and all that kind of stuff. I know all about it, okay? But not every straight person out there has got a little bit of gay in them, period, end of story. Not every straight person's got a little bit of bisexual in them. And bisexual people take a load of shit in our world today, because everybody's like, oh, they get the best of both worlds. They reduce it to something sexual, not something about attraction and love, okay? And what their feelings are inside. Bisexual people get such shit in our society today, all right? And it's people like this, it's influencers like this that feed into that. So do I take an issue with these people and what they have to say and what they put out there? You better bet I do, because there's a lot of younger generation that are looking up to them. These are 30-year-old men, okay? Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada. James Charles is 25 years old, okay? When I came out at 18 years old, I was looking up to 25-year-old men to lead the way for me. And thank God I had some fantastic 25 to 30-year-old men that were good role models for me in the LGBT community, okay? That didn't overstep their boundaries, weren't trying to get into my pants, and just wanted to put me on the right road. I am so thankful for that, right? And Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada and Manny MUA and James Charles and all these people are people that think they can get any straight man, play into the straight fantasy, do all this kind of stuff. So this is what we're referencing, okay? We're referencing James Charles at Toddy Westbrook's dinner, talking about sucking cock and balls, because he says that, and she says it in her videos, or sucking dick and balls, or cock, dick and cock, or whatever she says. It's one of her best quotes of life back then. I can't even remember what she says, but she says it in her video, right? And she says time and place, okay? Meaning that this is not the place to be having this conversation about sucking dick, okay? At her birthday dinner. It's disrespectful and it's rude, okay? And it shows how childish and immature you are, period, in the story, right? And that was what the majority of the video was about. And that time and place, okay, of James Charles talking at a dinner party about sucking dick, okay, and that he could get any man, whether they were gay or straight, was the conversation that occurred at that dinner party, okay? Now, Daniel Prada has in the last couple years made jokes of this, because James Charles, a friend of his, I think it was 2-3 years ago, bought James Charles a birthday cake that said, and you did it at my birthday dinner, okay? Which is also, again, referencing Toddy Westbrook in her video where she comes out and talks about James Charles several years ago, and she said, and you did it at my birthday dinner, okay? Before that, she had said time and place. James Charles holds the cake up proudly, okay, that he thinks this is really funny. So he's now making fun of Toddy Westbrook, calling him out for being inappropriate and sexually talking at a dinner party, okay, of a grown woman and her family and friends sexually explicitly, okay, which is cringe at best. And also that he's hitting on a straight waiter thinking that he can get any guy he wants, okay? This is what we're talking about. We're not just talking about him doing something funny at a dinner, okay? He wasn't drunk, he wasn't high, he was completely sober, saying, I can get any man that I want. Okay, that's important to remember that, because James Charles has allegations of trying to coerce straight men. Okay, this is not funny when people want to reference this back in the day and they want to throw up a birthday cake. Daniel Prada has actually thrown this up on his Instagram. It still exists on his Instagram, okay? That he put it up on there, this birthday cake that James Charles got. Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada together have made jokes about Angie did it at my birthday dinner, okay? Toddy Westbrook in that video also said time and place, all right? Talking about his language and what he was talking about at that dinner party, all right? So now we have James Charles coming out here and retweeting this picture of this Dick Cock Road and saying time and place. So here he is again, minimizing Toddy Westbrook and what she had to say at that point. Okay, don't forget that this was also the time that James Charles had multiple allegations of talking to minors, 2 of which he took responsibility for. We don't know how many other allegations there were out there or how many people never came came out and made any allegations because they were too ashamed. I shared in my video talking about Colleen Ballinger the other day that one of the reasons why victims of SA or victims of grooming don't ever come out and share their stories is because they have a huge amount of guilt, which is probably why one of these underage victims apologized to James Charles when he was underage, which is why Cosmopolitan is so disgusting for the article that they ran on him to even print that one of the victims, while the victim was still underage, came out and apologized to James Charles, okay? Implying that that person should have known better when they are still underage. But James Charles is let free of having any accountability or obligation whatsoever, but he's overage. But the excuse is always, James Charles is not emotionally developed yet, okay? Well, then neither are the victims, and they were taken advantage of, all right? But people don't come out, and they don't press charges, and this has been proven, okay? They don't press charges, they don't talk about it, and I shared in my video the other day that Becky and Oliver, okay, two of Colleen Ballinger's victims, or Oliver, a victim of Trump Ballinger, they don't come out and share their stories, and they get death threats. They have people shame them. They have people come for them and call them every name in the book and say horrific things about them. So why would they want to share their stories? Why would anybody, and we have to remember, okay, that this James Charles incident happened before these victims came out and talked about Colleen Ballinger. Today, it might not be the same way. Today, those victims, if they came out about James Charles, they might feel empowered by the victims talking about Colleen Ballinger, and they might feel like they could come out and share their stories today, right? But the go-to is always like, if James Charles really did anything wrong, why isn't he sitting in jail? You do realize that James Charles got in a video and he took accountability and said, I want to apologize to my victims. His victims that were 14 and 16 at the time that he was talking to them, okay? Having sexually explicit conversations with them, sending them nude pictures and asking him to do the same. You have a 14-year-old child up there, let's say they just turned 14. You're okay with that? You're okay with your 14-year-old child, brother, nephew, niece, anybody, grandchild out there, having somebody that was 20, 21 years old talking to them in that manner, and it's the child's fault, is what everybody says, right? Well, if there was anything wrong with it, they wouldn't be sitting in jail. You realize how many people are not sitting in jail, you know, for things that they did, for murdering people? There are a lot of murderers out there right now that never got caught, okay? Entire investigations were done that nothing happened, okay? There are people out there that have, you know, never got busted for assault, never got busted for that. Because James Charles isn't sitting in jail, that means he didn't do anything wrong, right? Well, it's also because victims are afraid to speak up. You know, now, if there had been a police investigation done, and the police investigation found that James Charles hadn't done anything, and there were these people had pressed charges, and on and on and on, and they found that there was something to do, then that would be a different discussion, okay? But people don't want to come out and share their stories because they're too afraid. They're too afraid with what goes along with it. They're too afraid of the scrutiny and the criticism. And I think that Becky, Adam McIntyre, and Oliver are perfect examples, okay, of why people don't want to come out and share their stories, because look what they get in return, right? For what? Becky and Oliver have never made a cent off of any of this, of sharing their stories. And they're further exploited on a daily basis, so why would they want to? But to James Charles, this is a funny time in history to him, right? This is a funny time that we should retweet this, okay? We should retweet this, and we should make a joke of it and say time and place. This is where I hope to God Toddy Westbrook chooses to come out and speak about this, because I think Toddy Westbrook knows a whole hell of a lot more. She started this fire and she didn't want to end it, okay? She was the one that got everybody to go after James Charles in the first place. Then she got everybody to let up on James Charles by saying the truth was going to come out. Well, this court case is almost done with Toddy Westbrook. She can't have anything that she says used in court used against her, okay, when this court case is done. I hope to God she comes out and tells some truth. She's been hinting at it long enough. James Charles don't think that Toddy Westbrook has the balls on her to come out and talk about this again. I think Toddy Westbrook don't give a shit. Her views aren't that great. I think she'll do anything. I think Toddy Westbrook might say to herself, you know what, I was used for the drama. I was used for these people to do with me. Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson used me to come after James Charles. James Charles used me to come after Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. I might use myself to make a little drama up and pull up some coin and boost my own, my business that I am relaunching, Halo Beauty. I might do that myself. I might use myself for the drama since all these other people wanted to use me for it and I've suffered as a result of it. She was a grown woman. She knew what she was doing. I agree with that statement. But she might say, I might want to take this, might want to take control over this again, okay? I went through it once and didn't get me anywhere. I might as well go through it again. And it'll either break me or it'll bring me all this. She got some truth she wants to tell. She's been hinting out in videos. She's been hinting out about Dramageddon. She's got some things she wants to tell, right? But what's interesting to me is that I'm starting to wonder if a lot of this attention and, you know, James Charles didn't sell out of his palette that he sold out recently. He don't really sell out of his makeup. I'm wondering if some of these views and these subscribers that he still seems to have, I'm starting to wonder, you know, been this huge influx in the last couple years of people buying subscribers and views on social media, okay? There's so many different people out there, so many different websites and businesses that you can buy viewers and subscribers off of that makes it look natural. There are so many people that do it on social media. So many people, okay? I've literally had people tell me that they do it. I've had people say, hell yes, I did it. I've done it several times in the past. I've done it when I had to do sponsored videos and things like that. I'm like, that is ridiculous that you do that, okay? I haven't had somebody recently tell me that, but I've had people tell me that in the past. And I'm like, so it's very obvious that people do that. I'm not entirely sure that James Charles ain't buying views and subs. Because when I went underneath there and I read the comments that were underneath there, I was a little surprised. There are people, not a lot of people underneath there, except for Gabriel Zamora. Not a lot of people over here, and which Gabriel Zamora, he is such a fence flipper. I mean, he is one time talking about, you know, no, Tati, no, Tati, girl, whatever, okay? That's because you do, Gabriel Zamora, the same thing that your friends Manny and Daniel do, okay? You do the same thing that they all do. You lust after straight men too. Y'all think it's funny, all right? I'll tell you when it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny for gay men in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, okay? It wasn't funny for those gay men that were trying to stay safe and keep their lives when they were literally beaten to death, okay? It wasn't funny to them, right? It's not funny to the thousands of trans people that are murdered every single year, okay? By straight people that are bashing them to death. It just happened last week, okay? It's not funny to those people. This whole straight fantasy that you feed into is dangerous. It is very, very dangerous. It makes me scared for our youth that see your videos that think that it's cute to hit on somebody that is straight, okay? When all of my friends, when I first came out, said, always protect your safety at any expense as a gay man. That whole thing that you're doing there with those TikToks of lusting after straight men to your young audience, what you're teaching them is, that's okay, all right? Well, I don't know about you, and I don't know your experience, but I've been out since I was 18, and I'm 51 years old, okay? I've met my fair share of men that didn't want to be fucked with in their life, okay? Didn't want to even be around a gay man. Didn't even want a gay man to be in the same room with them. And I'm not saying that's right, and I don't condone that, okay? But my safety and my life were more important to me than lusting after that person. You might want to think about what message you're putting out there into the world, because it's not a great message to the youth, all right? And I'm not saying that we should bend over backwards and do all this kind of stuff or whatever. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people out there that are heterosexual that are our allies, okay? They're our allies. They support us. Sing out their praises instead of having to lust after the straight man. If he's straight, he don't want you anyway. You can't turn a straight man gay, period, end of story, okay? And see, you're feeding into that whole idea that straight people that are afraid of gay people have believed for 100 years. That we recruit them and we change them into being gay. Okay, you cannot change a straight person gay any more than you can change a gay person straight, okay? I don't believe in conversion therapy and you shouldn't either, all right? It don't work. There's a million stories out there how it don't work. If it worked, then we could be changing sexual... That's not how it works, all right? So it's so disgusting to me that you guys play into this whole fantasy, right? That leads into the stereotypes that we fought so hard for you to be able to have the platforms that you have today. If myself and my generation before me and the generation before me didn't fight for your rights, and yes, I did. I marched for your rights. I fought for your rights. I walked down streets terrified for your rights, okay? If we hadn't done that in the generations that came before us, nobody would give a shit that you were the first beauty boy on YouTube. Nobody would care, all right? You need to be thankful for the generations that came for you, before the generations that came before me, okay? For the people that fought the good fight for gay rights and the LGBTQI plus community. And you need to be thinking about the rights that we have and don't have today and the rights that still need to be fought for, all right? Maybe be using your platforms for that instead of lusting after a straight man feeding into the stereotype of what we fought for the last 40 to 50 years. Period. End of story. This is going to stop. Hold on. I get so fired up about this because with the platforms that they have, they could do so much, right? They could be doing videos, sharing about their experience, sharing about what they have fought in their life, or what, issues they've had to have. Joey Graceffa could come out. I know for a fact he didn't come out for a very long time because he was afraid of losing his young audience. How about sharing that story in a video, Joey? That would be cathartic. That would be a teaching process for people, right? I have fact of that, by the way, okay? That you refuse to do that. You refuse to answer any questions. at all questioning anything about you. And then one day you do it in this extraordinary way where you hire your boyfriend off of Model Mayhem to be your boyfriend and be in this video. That's not how the real world works. I don't know why anybody in the fucking world believe that you all of a sudden meet this guy at some bar as your story, and all of a sudden he happens to be a model actor that agrees to be in this music video with you at the same time that you're going to release this story. Anybody really believes that? No. You know who believed that? Everybody that was 12. You had to turn it into a fairy tale fantasy for anybody to believe in it, because you were so afraid that if you just came out in a coming out video or just announced it, that people would eat you alive, because that wasn't your audience and you were terrified of that. And I understand that, and I think that that fear is appropriate. And I don't think it's anybody's time to force anybody out of the closet or out anybody, right? And I think that that's completely understandable. That would be a teaching moment, instead of lining 6 lesbians up and having JoJo Siwa pick out which one she thinks is a lesbian. That's 50 years back on time. How about sharing your story? You know? Why don't you share that story, what that coming out process was like for you? Not just a glorified version of it like you've done in the past. Share that story. How you were terrified of losing your audience. That you thought that you would lose everybody that ever followed you. That you were afraid of losing your money, your career of coming out. That's fucking real. Okay? That's real today, Joey Graceffa, James Charles, Daniel Prada, Manny MUA. That's real, okay? I give it to Manny MUA. He has shared some of those videos with his dad, and his dad being homophobic in the past, and how much his dad has changed. I love those videos of Manny. But then for Manny to put those videos out and then feed into that straight stereotype, to me, is disgusting, okay? I would be ashamed. I would be ashamed. And that's why I don't align myself with Manny MUA anymore. It has very little to do with all the other stuff and more to do with that, okay? Because these people could be great role models. The fact that Daniel Prada had the fucking nerve to get in a video with Joey Graceffa and they both laugh about it, saying to Jeffree Star that he should do something for the LGBT community. Jeffree Star, and I do not agree with a lot of what Jeffree Star says, okay? About pronouns and on and on and on. I don't agree with a lot of what he's done, okay? Jeffree Star has donated a lot of money and done a lot of things for the LGBT community that he has never spoken of. And that is not my place to share, because he does things, some things altruistically, which means you don't tell anybody about it, okay? Unlike all of you that have to do fundraisers and raise this and raise that, and like your friend Colleen, show the whole world the fundraisers that you do where you don't really donate the money the way that you're supposed to. You're all part of all that, right? Well, Jeffree Star has written literal checks to people for tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars to LGBTQIA plus communities and organizations, right? And never told a soul about it. But you have the nerve to get in the video and diss the man. What have you done, Daniel Prada, other than kiss straight men, lust after straight men, and support a predator? I'm asking you straight up. What have you done, girl? Okay? Seriously? For the LGBT community. Period. End of story. Okay? Other than just show off an outfit at a Pride Day festival or Pride Day bar. What have you done, girl? Except for go out to a bar in WeHo. What have you done? Have you ever had to fight in a workplace because you're gay? Have you ever stand there while people said shit to you? I mean, what have you gone through, girl? Share those stories. Maybe people would watch them more, okay? Because, girl, you get about the same amount of views that I get, and you got a lot more subscribers than me, okay? And my pictures get a lot more likes and comments than your pictures do, and you're getting $80,000 sponsorships a year. And I ain't trying to call you out, but what I'm saying is it's bullshit and nobody's interested in you, okay? Because if they were, they would be interested in giving you 10,000 views a picture and things like that. I looked the other day, girl. Daniel Prada, this is to you. Your likes and your comments are like half of what I get when I post a picture of my dog. And you're getting $80,000 sponsorships from Drunk Elephant? Oh, I forgot. That's because you have a friend that works there. Well, maybe that friend should know that you ain't getting no pull, okay? You ain't selling no Drunk Elephant for them. I'm glad that they're helping you out with a paycheck, right? That's what the world of the influencer does. But for the gay kid that's working at fucking McDonald's or Hardee's or Burger King, okay? That's going to start hitting on the wrong people and put his safety in jeopardy, okay? He don't got a friend working at fucking Burger King that's going to give him a $100,000 check a year. You do. You're sending out the bad message, okay? Think about that. Wanting to come for these people that have actually donated a lot of money, you know? I got a lot to say about Shane Dawson. He hasn't done a lot in this role, but Shane Dawson, I will say, he has attempted to take some accountability for his past. You haven't. Come out in a video and say you'll start doing better, and then you turn around and you're friends with James Charles. But let's get back to James Charles, because these comments, I lived, okay? Because You can hide stuff over on the Instagram and the YouTube and the comments and stuff like that, but you can't, how it's kind of stuff. Somebody asked me the other day, how do you block somebody on YouTube? I'll make this clear. You can't really, like the block button they've taken off, but what they've done is they've replaced it with hide this person from your channel. They can still watch your videos. They can even still comment on their videos. Their comments just won't show up on your videos. They're blocked from commenting on their videos, okay? Period, in the story. That's how it is. So the block button's gone. They replaced it with that hide this person from your channel. So this person says on here, always ruining good jokes. I mean, a lot of people on here say the same thing. That's so real. And in quotations, I'm a minor. Somebody said, so funny. In quotations, I'm a minor. Somebody said, oh no, James Charles sent you nudes. Hit like to block him. Somebody said, trying to strike a chord and it's probably a minor. Somebody said, girl, this ate with an embarrassing face. Somebody said, oh, since when did you get so funny with an embarrassing face? Somebody said, more like age in prison. Instead of time and place, they said age in prison. Somebody said, this just made me horny, and then like an embarrassment face. Somebody said, you text underage boys on the regular, by the way. Somebody has a gif of Rose from the Golden Girls and says sweet memories, and she's looking like, what the hell? Somebody put on here, girl, ... Gabriel Zamora. He put on here, and you did it at my birthday dinner with a smiley face. Gabriel Zamora still follows me. I don't know why I don't follow her. Anyway, somebody on here said, jail. The fact that somebody says that didn't matter when you were DMing underage boys. Somebody else says. Somebody said, a lot of people are putting the gif of Toddy Westbrook saying it. Somebody said James, ... Somebody said young boys weren't mentioned. Somebody said time equals that what you should serve, space equals in jail. Somebody said, and for that time and place in the DMs of a minor. Somebody said, okay, he mentioned the joke, so the joke's not funny anymore. Somebody said, you spoke to minors, you shouldn't be allowed to live. Ooh, and they said a very offensive word. Somebody said, too funny, I'm 16. Somebody said, not at her birthday dinner. They again put Toddy's thing on here. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Under his own tweet, people are coming for him. I'm not sure if I buy the fact that James Charles is getting the same views and likes and all that anymore. I think people are done with James Charles too. I think it's all fake. I think this is all smoke and mirrors. I mean, it was interesting to me because I was going through, I think it was Joey Graceffa's videos. Hold on a second. Who was I going through the other day? I think it was Joey Graceffa's videos. And actually, you know, he does all these videos where he talks about, where he does like, you know, pick this person out of line. JoJo Siwa, he uses her in so many videos. But it was interesting to me when I was looking through this because I noticed, was it him? I think it was him. Who was it? Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was, no, it wasn't him. Oh, here it is. Which woman is secretly a lesbian? Oh, which of these guys is secretly gay? Like, that's not feeding in to the gay stereotype whatsoever, right? And then he does all this stuff, relationship status update. You're single and on Grindr, girl, everybody knows it, okay? You ain't dating nobody. On here he does another one, something about, like, ranking 8 guys by attractiveness, gay versus girl. I mean, like, this is, which of these men is secretly gay? Test your gaydar. Girl, seriously, 1990 wants your content back. I mean, it's embarrassing. But I was looking at somebody the other day. I can't remember who I was looking at, but like all of their content was about like Taylor Swift and Olivia. Who was it that I was looking at? Olivia Rodrigo or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, they're doing the same thing that Colleen Ballinger does. It was like they're using these trending topics of these teen topics. So when they're doing that, okay, they're still like they're trying to pull that audience, that teen audience. It's so bizarre to me. Maybe it was James Charles. I can't remember who it was. I don't think it was. I think it was Manny MUA maybe actually. But anyway, yeah, so James Charles takes no accountability. Still to this day, he thinks it's a joke. He thinks it's funny. He thinks talking to minors and hitting on straight men. And I want to make this very, very clear. The minor allegations that he took accountability, they're not just allegations, okay? That we use that word because, you know, like there were no charges pressed and whatever. But he actually got in a video and admitted to it. So he is a predator. Like, they're not allegations when you get in a video and you actually admit that you did those things. He admitted that he did those things, right? So they're not just allegations. He is a predator. James Charles is a self-proclaimed predator. When people say, I get so tired of Peter calling this person a predator. I don't know what you would call somebody when they get in a video and they actually define themselves as a predator, a desperate predator. I'm not really, if you have a different word that you would like me to use, please let me know, okay? But he was talking to underage boys in a sexual way. He admitted to that on video, then took the video down. He actually backed it up again in his open conversation video and said that he was doing those things. So it was 2 videos that he actually talked about. He was just smarter in his second video, right? So I'm not really sure what words you want me to use. Predator, groomer, what would you call it? I don't, let me know the word you want me to use and I will use that word in the future, okay? But that's what he self-proclaimed that he was that, right? And yet he still has a career and he's making jokes of it. But let's just say if none of those allegations had ever come out, okay? Let's say if his only allegation was that he was in multiple men's, okay? There's multiple stories, like 10 stories that have been verified, okay, that are true, where James Charles has been talking to straight men trying to coerce them into being a gay, okay, or thinking that they were bisexual. You know, hinting at them being his boyfriend, how lucrative that would be and things like that. There's at least 10 verified statements of that, okay, from 10 different men. 2 of them, I think, were married, right? That he's trying to convince them to be bi-curious. That alone is so problematic, and the fact that people don't have issues with that, the fact that people in the LGBTQIA+ community don't have issues with that this takes us so back in time for people that fought so hard, people that died, okay, like Harvey Milk, people that died for our rights today, okay? The fact that people in the LGBTQ community have no issue with the fact that James Charles has tried to coerce numerous straight men to thinking that they were gay, fucking with their heads on that level, right? Okay. It's so problematic. He is literally one of the reasons why. Here's an example, okay, of why people think that gay men try to recruit straight men, okay? You know, it's interesting to me that when, you know, that's another video for another day, right? But it's one of the reasons why we have had to fight the names, the stereotypes, everything for years. And James Charles, the first beauty boy as an out gay man influencer that is, you know, applauded for that, has taken us so back in time for the words that we have fought and the stereotypes and the allegations that we have fought as gay men for the last 50 to 100 years. We have fought those fights. And James Charles just took us 50 years back. And the fact that nobody has an issue with that is baffling to me. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.